think what I want to let you know is a little bit about why this is so important to me. And it's not so much that I'm a former member of the Black Panther Party, Black Liberation Army, political prisoner. It's that those are connected to hundreds and hundreds of years struggles of people who laid the groundwork for people like me when I was much younger and we had afros and stuff like that, you know. And some of us can still grow afros. But the importance of it is that we carry on what was passed on. I speak about political prisoners, you know, not so often anymore because we have a 7 and 4-year-old, and that does take up my revolutionary duties more so. But it's always trying to get across to people why the issue of political prisoners and their freedom is so important. Why it should be even on the top of your agenda. I used to be nice and say it should be somewhere in your agenda, but it's me being nice. I want people to get, when they hear about political prisoners, why it should be on the top of your agenda. Because you're talking about those who laid the foundation for what you're doing in your work now, whether you call yourself activists or revolutionaries, you know, or whatever. You want to change this world. We may know Mumia Abu-Jamal. We may know Leonard Peltier, you know, but we may not know many more here. But there's a whole bunch of them. We may not know the political prisoners of Puerto Rico. We may not know the political prisoners of Aztlan, that area that the United States took from Mexico. The people still identify, you know, their land, you know, and their struggles. We may not know of these white folks who have been in such solidarity that they're willing to put forth their lives and risk their lives, not only for their own, but knowing that their own freedom is tied into our freedoms. And we struggle together. That period of the 60s was just some magical stuff, you know. And you never know where your inspirations are coming from. But when it gets you, when it grabs you, it's got a hold of your soul. You don't let go of it anymore, you fight. And some fight until they die. Some fight until they're shot down in the street. Some fight in the prison cells when they just, you know, the spirit is just like, you know, you're tired, rested, you know, you did it, you know. And hopefully others will carry it on, carry the struggle on. Our comrades have been in a long time. Some 40 years and more. If you talk about George Jackson, you got to talk about Ruchell McGee. George Jackson was killed in the 70s. His younger brother was killed, George Jackson 71, Jonathan 70.
Yeah.
There's those people with them. Ruchell McGee's still in prison, so we're not even talking about 40 years. You're talking 50 and maybe approaching 60, I don't even know.
He's long as hell.
And he should be insane and out of his mind. And he might be a little bit after all that time, but he still writes. He still indicates in every way possible that his spirit is still tied up in this struggle and he's still looking to win. You know, and even if he feels like he's not going to get out anymore, he knows he's connected to what we do. It is our hope that you will connect to people like him and all these other political prisoners as if they're really yours, family, you know. Otherwise, they die in there. And we prepare another funeral, you know, and it doesn't get written about. It doesn't even get too much on the Facebook and everything else that we do now. They just die, and no one knows their struggles or anything. For those of us who survive, it's pretty rough. You watching your comrades die, one by one, 2 by 2s, you know, and it's like a generation of us who tried to do it, that magical period that you know as the 60s, where so much was coming together, it just seemed like, man, I think we're gonna pull this off. And it was not just within the locale of this U.S. empire, but it was worldwide. Folks was like pulling it together, waking up, solidarity for real. You know, but like other things, sometimes your movements get crushed. You know, and some die in the streets, some die in the prisons. Some die spiritually. You just get tough, you get big, they press you, they press you, and they press you. And it's like no one is coming to your aid, and you hold on as long as you can, and your spirit suffers. So in many ways, you know, those of us who've been able to hold on, sometimes our sanity is like, well, at least we got to keep trying to get those inside out. And maybe someone will hear our message. Che Guevara had this saying about, you know, about the staccato of gunfire, you know, how they want to be remembered. You know, like at least you know that it was fighting back because you heard the staccato of gunfire. But we're not there today. Sometimes I wish we were. But what if the staccato is not necessarily gunfire, but is of the voices of those prisoners, those who are ancestors, those who are still with us, who some of the readings you will hear. But if that is what you might hear, that might be the thing that gets you to grasp on to this issue as if your life depended on it.